This program actually is very important, and the topic is very, very interesting. It is like understanding how people take innovation to the next level, or how people think to evolve not only in business but to like help about environment, help the lives of other people. So this kind of discussion is really, really good. Hope to have a second edition of this one.
Moving on to Astaji again, in defense sector, do you normally you are into making defense equipment and defense related product. So what kind of innovations, because in defense you may have to work under certain guidelines. This is not an open sector, so to say. So what kind of innovations you are allowed to make, and what kind of innovations you are making?
So one of my favorite solutions that we are in the process of providing to defense is a solution that we are working with the Indian Army. So currently, let's forget we are in Calcutta and go to one of these remote border locations and imagine that there's no Airtel, no Vodafone, no Tata, and they still need to get at least voice communication through. That's the bare minimum. And even till date, the equipment that they use is 60 kgs, and I think the size of the antenna would be half the size of this room, which means that setting up communication in an area which didn't have communication is a week to 10 days worth of activity for the entire unit to get involved. We've come up with communication solutions in collaboration with different technology partners from across the world, and we've bought equipment which can perform equivalent, if not better, than this 60 kg equipment within 1.8 kgs. The setup time is less than 15 minutes, and basically instead of just supporting voice, unlike the previous equipment, we can support any data, any video traffic that they want to send across. So the main concerns are that licensing is a very big issue. We have to get all the requisite licenses to be considered credible in the space, which is something that our organization has put in the time and effort to, establish. But beyond that, from what we've seen, the Indian Army or the paramilitaries for that matter, they are open to innovation. It's just that the process and yes, I was trying to avoid having to say that. Just the bureaucracy is honestly very entrenched, unfortunately. So to accept the fact that, oh, I'm not buying something that a PSU is selling me versus I'm buying something that a private entity is selling me is a very big roadblock in their minds. So we have successfully overcome that roadblock so far, and I hope to continue doing so as we go ahead as well, and make sure that we are actually thinking from that customer's perspective, that security is important, reliability is important. In the most difficult situation, he doesn't have an hour to set it up. He needs something that, even if it costs him a few extra dollars, is set up just that much quicker, is set up just that much more reliably. So we've put ourselves in the shoes of the customer and been able to come up with these solutions. Similarly, drone systems, for example, is something we're working on very extensively, and we recently got recognized in a few tenders for that as well. So while drone is a very common industry, so to say, in India now, you will find every third startup, if you go to Bangalore or Hyderabad, saying, hi, I'm working in the drone space. Unfortunately, the capabilities that we are bringing to the table from the indigenous drone manufacturers are still very, very restricted. So what we're trying to do is collaborate with different partners so that we still have that made in India product, we still have that Atmanirbhar defense, but at the same time, we are not compromising just because we want indigenous technology. So we are innovating by, so to put it like by collaborating. I think that is one of the bigger advantages we bring, that we are not trying to greenfield everything. We know that this is the limitation of technology that is available indigenously, and we supplement it using our global technology partners, so that we still have Today, if I'm going to war, no one's going to care if I was with a made in India product or a made in X product. It's going to come down to whether that product works or not, and that's what we are trying to make sure is still there on the ground.
The word is local.
Local. I most sincerely asked Sunilda to organize a meeting like this on innovative ways of bypassing the bureaucracy. That's the crux of the problem actually.
Standing up for it.
Be it manufacturing or service sector.
That's a very good idea.
That's a networking solution.
Actually, I'm sure you will come up with this.
Yeah.
Moving
Definitely. It's a
on.
good idea, but yeah, it's coming to my mind now. We'll do it.
You should.
Yeah. But the next
Some
one,
innovation for your business actually.
But I tell you what, the next one is going to be very interesting. Let me share it because I've already decided on the topic. So which I'm going to do immediately after pujas. Is something which is very close to a marketer like me. Branding and marketing. Is it a wasteful expenditure or a wise investment? So that's going to be something which is very close to my heart, and I'm going to do it. But this one which you suggested, I will do it. The one after that.
Next to that.
Yeah.
So moving on to Anmol, as you can make out that he is innovative, be it with his hairstyle, be it the way he carries himself, he is innovative all the way.
Is that an actual compliment or?
Actual compliment. No, actual compliment.
You're carrying the brand.
Millennial brands.
Millennial brand.
So as Sunilda rightly pointed out, these aspects, branding and marketing of a product, it is not just to make an innovative product, but you have to reach out to your customers also, and you have to know the target group, how you are to reach out to them. So the type of product that you have come, mostly we were used to having lassi on earthen pot or maybe glasses, but now you have come up with this bottles, nice looking bottles, you just twist and sip it. So these are the kind of, again, innovative things which you are thinking or coming up with.
See, I think when you say the word innovation, people just assume that everything has to be this revolutionary change. It has to be this giant leap forward. But I don't think that's always the case. You know, it is always incremental in nature. When you look back, you'll see that itna bada innovation tha over time. But when you're walking, you don't realize I walked 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers. Once you reach a destination, you're like, oh, acha, I did end up walking that long. So it's the same thing with any industry. It's the small little changes that make a big difference. For example, you know, in our industry, like for milk, a lot of our competitors source from, say, villages, right? And they're sourcing from 1,000 farmers all across a certain region. What happens is they'll end up getting raw materials that is good, sometimes bad. So they have to balance it out. So dealing with those situations, they will, you know, have products which are either are very over processed, or, you know, they'll use preservatives, natural preservatives or whatever preservatives that they have to extend the shelf life. But so far in our case, because we have control over the raw materials and we've invested in the machinery that doesn't require too much human intervention, what ends up happening is our shelf life naturally increases. So I'm just using this as an example to show that innovation doesn't have to be like this huge leap forward. Like for example, I'll take lassi as an example. There are only two ways to consume lassi in today's world. Either you get it in a packet, which is cumbersome, you have to put it in a glass, or you know, in a bowl or whatever. And the other option is Amul's Tetra Pak that comes straight from Gujarat, which is made with the fanciest machinery, but you know, it's made ages ago. There's nothing in between. So we were like, okay, let's do it in bottles. We do sterilized bottles. It's completely thing. Our shelf life is better than a pouch, but not as much as a thing. But we're not using any preservatives, and it's fresh. It goes within 15 days, and you know. So again, coming back to the point, it's not as cool as say defense equipment, but it's still the small changes that really add up to the innovation over time.
The simplest thing is the most difficult thing to do actually. So now moving on to you, Mr. Gupta. In your case also, edible oil, juice and salad. In these cases also you need to, adopt some innovative packaging or innovative ways of reaching out to customers.
Definitely, because you see, to exist in the market, we have to be innovative. It's not it's an optional. It's a basic thing actually. Say for example, in edible oils, people were using some days before 7-ply poly films. Nowadays we are using 9 film. So this gives a better strength. It gives a better shelf life. So previously we used to have 6 months of shelf life. Now we are having 9 months of shelf life. Actually it's a 12 month, but for reserving ourselves, because we are into distribution market, we are manufacturing. So we distribute, and the distributors again go to the retailers and thereafter to the customers. So from reserving point we keep it. But we always try to find out to stay in the market with the innovative ideas. Otherwise we won't flourish, we won't be there actually. Flourishing is second thing. To be in the market, you have to look at the innovative ideas. You have to be innovative things you have to be. Say for example, nowadays we were selling juices of lemon and oranges and strawberries and all these flavors. Suddenly Tata came with Gluco and they killed all the market. So it was an innovative idea from the Tata. So now in the coming summer we are also thinking we have to be innovative, otherwise we won't be. So if Darwin says survival of the fittest, so it also applies to business also. So innovation is the survival kit actually for us. So we are always looking, we always wish to go to the platforms where we can see the innovations in there. Fairs. We attend different fairs to see the innovative things, so that we can make our product better, we can make it cheaper, reasonable, so that we can make our profit and make distributors profit and the customers at it. So definitely we are looking innovative ideas and we are always going after that.